Here's a quick tutorial on how to make this neckline, and you can apply this same method to get any different styling of rope neckline that you desire. You can see it is neatly finished as well. So because I wanted a yoke, I went ahead to draft only the front bodies. So I'm going to keep the down part aside, and we are going to be working with only the yoke parts. I simply place the yoke on another paper because it is half of a pattern and I need the pattern to be full. I did not add any sewing allowance on this part, the neckline or the shoulder. This is because I would not want the stripes that I am adding to have any kind of gapping, because the fabric I'm using is kind of a bit stretchy in nature. So I would want it to stretch up so that it would lay very firmly on my client and it will not be having any reason to gap. That's why I did not add any sewing allowance on any part of the yoke. So I'll just go ahead to unpin this. This will give me a full pattern like this. This is what I need. I don't need half of the pattern. So I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to style lines for the design. The styling and the gapping between each line should be as you desire. I'll place my pattern on fold and I'm going to make my lines bold, so I'll have the tracing of these lines on the second part to have the same lines. You can use a tracing wheel if you don't want to use this method. Open up the pattern and I'm going to follow the tracings and make the line bold. I cut tiny strips of fabric and I have gone ahead to sew it. You can see I left my sewing allowance. Do not cut out your sewing allowance. I'll be showing the reason for that. So I took a broom and I'm going to use it to turn up this tube up. You can use whatever you know works best for you. So after I have turned it up, you can see how thick this comes out to be when you do not trim your allowance. So I've already gone ahead to sew a little part of it. I'm going to show you how you should do this. Please, you have to do this carefully and do not try to backstitch. So after I have sewn it there, I'll make sure I arrange it accordingly to the next line and I'll cut it to the exact length. Place the next one on the next line, sew carefully, and I'm going to cut on the exact length. Please ensure you arrange it according to the required lines. I'll use the same method to fix all the other tubes. I have stitched it down according to the lines that I marked. Please, you have to do this carefully so that you do not tear your paper. Now for this edge part, I actually left it big like this so I can use it to finish up this side or attach the sleeve. For the shoulder as well, you would add a bigger piece that you can use it to join the back part. So I went ahead to join the front pieces together and I placed it on fold to cut out a lining for the neckline. And for the lining, I will not be weaving this up. That's why I gave it a tiny fold inward like this. This is the yoke and this is the center part. I'm going to place the center part to the center part of the yoke like this and I'll pin it up. Follow the shape of the paper and you're going to sew this all the way here. To finish the neckline neatly, I'll be showing you how you can do it. I'll be starting from one corner of the place. As you can see, I have placed my yoke and I'm placing my lining on top the yoke. I'll go ahead to arrange the yoke carefully to follow the neckline, and I'll also arrange my lining accordingly to follow what I have arranged. Remember, I cut the lining according to the shape of the neckline, so it will be very easy to follow through with the shape as I am sewing. So I would arrange the neckline each time I want to sew. I lift my machine foot to make sure I arrange it accordingly. After I have arranged the neckline and the yoke, I'll place my lining to follow up with the arrangement and I am going to sew it up. This is the method I'm going to be using to sew it to the other end. So this is it. You can see how neatly finished it is. The seam is in between the main fabric and the lining, and so it is neatly finished. Now this is what the front look like. Do well to iron it to get a very flat piece. Do not cut out your paper until you are done joining the neckline, the sleeve, and everything about it before you can remove the paper. This is what I made out of my dress. I hope you love my dress. If you want to see more videos from me, please give me a thumbs up and tell me what you think about my dress.